Fusion Mobile, quality e-learning experience on the go.
Alright, so now we're moving on to the skin and the integumentary system. Alright, the skin, by way of introduction, is what you see outside, as in covers the entire body. Right, that's your skin. That's my skin. Okay, you see it everywhere. It's fair to say that the skin is actually the largest organ in the human body. Okay, remember we said in our digestive session that the liver is the largest gland, but when it comes to organs, the skin is pretty much the largest organ. And why do we say that? Every part of the body is covered by a skin. From the head to the toe, you have skin covering your body. So yes, it's fair to say it's the largest part of the body. Alright, so next we are going to be talking about the components of the skin and the layers of the skin. Alright, the skin is made up of two main layers. You have the epidermis and the dermis. Okay, the epidermal layer is also divided into three different layers. Okay, that's the outer layer, which is a conified layer or stratum corneum. It's made up of dead flat cells. Okay, the middle layer, which is this granulosal layer or stratum granulosum, it's made up of living cells, and the innermost layer, called the Malpighian layer. Okay, it's a continuous layer that continuously produces cells that are actively dividing to produce new epidermis. So what usually happens is, as you grow older, the lowest layer, the Malpighian layer, continues to actively divide to produce cells that will go to replace or become the corneum, the granulosa layer, and those cells of the granulosa layers also with time grow up to replace the conified layer, while the conified layer, which is actually dead cells, actually fall off with time. Now, the next thing you should note is that there is a pigment in the skin called that produces melanin for your skin. The melanin is that pigment that gives the skin its unique color. Okay, and in addition to giving the skin that color, it also performs the function of protection against ultraviolet rays of the sun. Ultraviolet rays from the sun can be very harmful, can be cancerous, can actually cause skin cancers. So it is the melanin in your skin that protects your skin from the ultraviolet rays actually. Now, the dermis, on the other hand, is a layer of connective tissue with many elastic fibers. It also has blood capillaries and nerve endings, sweat glands, follicles, and lymphatics. Now, as you can see here, these are actually the nerve endings. It's a touch receptor, okay, for the nerve endings that gives the skin that property of an organ. You say the skin is an organ because of the ability to feel, and it is the nerve endings that help give it that property. Alright, we also said the skin has capillaries, that's blood vessels that can vasodilate or vasoconstrict, that means that can widen, that's dilation, or constrict, that is can contract, depending on the temperature of the environment. Okay, if you are in a very hot environment, you are feeling hot inside, the vessels will have to vasodilate so that blood will flow easily and to the surface of the skin where evaporation will take place, and then you will be cooled. Okay, and conversely, if you are in a very cold environment, the capillaries and the blood vessels of the skin will vasoconstrict so that you can conserve heat. The blood carries a lot of heat from the metabolism that goes on in your body. So the vessels will vasoconstrict to conserve that heat so that you do not feel cold. Alright? Also in the diagram, we can see other structures like the hair shaft, the sweat spore from which the sweat gland will come out, and the sebum. Now, sebum is that organ. The sebum is produced by the sebaceous gland, which helps to keep the skin moist, and it's antiseptic as well. It has antiseptic properties to protect the skin. It's also waterproof. It's one of the things that makes the skin waterproof, so that water does not percolate or pass through your skin. In addition, you also have some other structures in the skin that helps your skin to be more water impermeable. Next, we are going to be talking about the nerve endings. Now, you say the skin is a sense organ because of the presence of nerve endings. There are different types of nerve endings, like we mentioned during the CNS part, the central nervous system part. You say you have the touch receptors, you have the pain receptors, you have the mechanoreceptors for pressure, Okay, all these nerve endings, okay, are the things that come together to make the skin an organ, because they make the skin able to respond to different stimuli. The thermoreceptors make the skin respond to change in temperatures. The mechanoreceptors makes the skin respond to change in vibration sense. The pain receptors are also called the nociceptors. They help us to help the skin to respond to pain sensations. Okay. Now, sweat is produced by the sweat gland, and this sweat contains water, urea, and sodium chloride, which makes the skin an excretory organ. Remember, we said that the body has different types of excretory organs. The kidney is the main excretory organ. We all know that. But apart from the kidney, there are some other organs too that perform some excretory functions. We talked about the lungs when it removes CO2 from the body. That's an excretory organ. We talked about the liver when it breaks down bile and all that and excretes it in the feces or urine. We talked about the skin as well, when it helps us remove excess water and urea and sodium chloride. That's what makes the skin an excretory organ. In birds and mammals, the skin helps in the maintenance of a constant body temperature by a process called homeothermy. And that's what makes those organisms, that's what makes mammals and birds hemothermic organisms. And also the skin helps to insulate the body so that heat does not escape from the body when you really need to conserve heat.
Fusion Mobile, quality e-learning experience on the go.